I need to talk to you. What in the world, Mads? What is wrong? I'm gonna tell you something, but you cannot breathe a word of this to Emma. Oh, all right. Last night, I had the craziest dream. We were by the lake, and this odd lady told me to make a wish. And I wished that I was marrying Paul Kennedy. I know that probably shocks you.
Should it?
Well, anyway, when I woke up from the dream, my suitcase magically appeared.
Imagine you're at a bar in Dublin and someone tells you a story so ridiculous, so unhinged, that you start questioning if you've been served whiskey or straight up delusion. Now imagine that story is a movie and it stars Lindsay Lohan, of course. Welcome to Irish Wish, the rom-com nobody wished for but somehow still exists. Spoiler alert, it's bad. Like Guinness with milk bad. But here's the kicker. It's not just the movie that's bad. The protagonist, she's the walking embodiment of chaos, bad decisions, and questionable Irish stereotypes. So grab a drink, maybe two, and let's unpack this disaster together. First of all, why is Lindsay Lohan in this movie? Don't get me wrong, we love a good comeback story, but Irish Wish feels like someone lost a bet. Namely, Lohan. This is not the redemption arc Lindsay deserves, honestly. The premise, our girl Maddie, played by Lohan, is in love with her best friend's fiance. Yes, you heard that right, best friend's fiance. And of course, some magic Irish shenanigans grant her wish to be the bride. Predictable? Yes. Entertaining? Kind of, but for all the wrong reasons. Look, if you're Irish, I'm deeply apologetic for what this movie did to your culture. If you're not Irish, this movie will still offend you. It's just that bad. It's horrendous. Let's talk about Maddie, our main girl. Maddie's defining trait, she's selfish. And not in the empowering, I'm putting myself first way. She's selfish in the how has nobody staged an intervention type of way. This woman makes every decision like she's never heard of consequences. Want to ruin your best friend's wedding? Sure. Want to risk tearing apart a family for a man who looks like he got lost on the way to a Hallmark movie audition? Absolutely. Maddie is like the anti-Taylor Swift. The problem is always her. So with Maddie, it's just so freaking strange because you can tell by just watching the movie was made and created by a man. Maybe even the writers were men. I don't know whoever was the movie runner, showrunner for this was a man, because there's no way in anyone's right mind in 2024, going into 2025, that they would put a woman, a grown woman at that, not a young woman, a grown woman whose best friend's about to get married to someone she's always been in love with apparently, but never said anything and regrets never saying anything. It's kind of like unhappy that her best friend's getting married to the man of her dreams. She puts her in that they're put in that situation where she's not a good friend. She's a backstabber, because how could you ruin your best friend's wedding situation when they go to Ireland just so you can hopefully get him by an Irish wish? Like, that's crazy. It's insane, honestly. She's a horrible, horrible friend. No matter if she liked him at first or not, or she was like, his co-writer or not, it does not matter. He never liked her. He liked her friend. So I don't feel sympathetic for her. To me, she's not a protagonist. To me, in this movie, Maddie, played by Lohan, is the, antagonist at this point. Because how could you do that to your close friend? Sabotage their whole lives due to an Irish wish. And now we'll get into the signs and all that stuff of why they weren't a good match anyways, but it was just silly. This was made horribly. The plot was horrible, and how it was created and the follow through of the whole story, even the climax, was piss poor, to be honest. Let's get into the script. Now, I have a theory that this movie was written by someone whose only exposure to Ireland was St. Patrick's Day in Times Square. How else do you explain the sheer number of clovers, rainbows, mystical plot holes, sorry. The dialogue is so cringeworthy, it feels like the writer dared themselves to get canceled by the Irish Tourism Board.
What brings you to Ireland?
A wedding.
No, congratulations.
Oh no, it's not mine. It's my friend's.
I can't believe Paul and Emma are getting married.
You balance me out, Butler. We do make a great team.
We do.
Hi, Mom. I can't.
Going to the script, it's horrible, guys. It is so, like, their replies, their responses, everything just seems so, like, it seems like ChatGPT did it. It seems like it just seems not realistic to anyone's, like, own, a real human being's responses or how they react to certain, like, scenarios in real life, you know? I think that the actors did the best they could. I mean, they had a budget. That's the thing. Let's go into the visuals, and visually you'll see they had a freaking budget. If you watch this movie, you'll be like, oh, they had a big budget for this movie. They had a decent, nice little budget from Netflix. I don't understand how the script was that bad. They spent all the money on the budget and not the writers. I don't know what was going on, but it was really, really cringeworthy and really, really bad. The responses, the woman, I forgot her name, Saint Bridget? Well, it was one of the saints, the woman who grants her the wish. Her lines were so leprechaun-y, so stereotypical Irish. She had a watered down Irish accent, of course, because, you know, Americans. And it was just so crazy to witness, honestly, to see and to witness that they would do this to Irish culture, which is so stereotypical. It just felt so weird. It kind of felt like the saint who granted the wish kind of felt like, you know, a Disney princess story. It felt like that. It felt like a Disney princess story, but in the worst way possible and without the proper script. Because it was like, oh, well, grant your wish, fairy godmother. Yay, thank you. But it was just not done well. And there were just so many plot holes when the wish was happening as well, honestly. Like, I'm so confused. So when said the saint grants your wish, does that mean that the whole world just changes and believes that you're engaged to him all of a sudden? And you have no memories of being engaged to him at all. So like, so many plot holes and so many random things. They tried to make it interesting, but it just wasn't interesting. It was just so weird. Now, let's get into my main gripe. So when so many people have Irish friends, but very few of us have friends from Ireland that are actually born in Ireland with an Irish accent, understanding Irish culture a little bit and things like that. Me, I'm one of them. The worst part of this is that majority of the cast is American or British. There are like 2 or 3 people who are barely seen that are from Ireland and have Irish accents. They're like supporting cast. They're not even a main cast, so you don't even actually hear them. The only people you hear are the guy she's in love with, the man she wants to marry. You hear him, and he's doing a horrible Irish accent. And I was like, what is this leprechaun-y accent? What is that? Like, I was trying to figure out, like, is it my ears? Like, did I figure what the Irish accent sound like? And I was like, there's no way this guy's Irish. I can tell. Went to the casting, you know, Googled it, went to casting. And I was like, oh, this guy's from Wales. He's doing an Irish accent because it sounds very, like, leprechaun-y. It was so freaking strange. So, yeah. Don't recommend this movie, mainly due to that horrible accent. But watch it because if you want to have fun and laugh and cringe a little bit, you know? But that's the main gripe with this movie that most people will have is when you watch it, you'll be like, wait, Irish wish. Okay, they're in Ireland, and you hear no Irish people around. You hear like a few Irish people with Irish lines, but it's like, oh, they're just bystanders, you know, like she's just walking past them, or one of the cast members is walking past, or having a short little conversation with an Irish person. That's the only time you hear an Irish accent. You see a little bit of Irish dancing there and things like that, which is great when they're in the bar. And then she has a Guinness, you know, they talk about Guinness and stuff like that, but it's just very stereotypical, you know, but it's like, you don't actually hear Irish people. You see some Irish people maybe, but you don't hear Irish people. And I think that's the weirdest freaking and most disrespectful thing you can do to anyone in their culture is like, oh, it's kind of like if Mamma Mia was in, you know, or no, that's not that. How about My Big Fat Greek Wedding when they went to Greece, the last one? And it's like, okay, we are not going to prioritize any Greek people nor the Greek language mainly. We're not going to do any. Like, how offensive would that be? It'd be like kind of like, what the heck? Like, we're supposed to be in Greece, you know? Like, what's the Greek culture? You know, it felt more authentic. My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. But yeah, it's just, yeah. So, like, going into this movie, it says Irish Wish. Just assume it's British or American Wish in Ireland because it's nothing to do with Ireland, really. They could have made, and that's the thing, there needs to be a reason to why you're doing a destination movie or why this movie's a destination type of event. Because if I can take the whole cast and take them from Ireland and the whole plot and take it from Ireland and put it in so many other different countries and cultures, that means you guys didn't do a good enough job to make sure it had roots in Ireland, you know? It didn't have to be a serious movie. It's a rom-com. But it's not even a rom-com because, again, the cast, they're horrible people. You're trying to take your best friend's husband, and then when you finally get him, you realize you're in love with another guy. You kiss him. It's just like, you realize you're in love with the other guy who's the photographer and things like that. He has no problem that you're about to get married because he wants you to break up with your husband to get with him. And the guy she was in love with is actually English. She was like, okay, Irish wish, but yeah, she made their wish, you know, in Ireland with the saint. But at the same time, her end goal was to get an English man. Propaganda, I tell you guys, people don't actually like the Irish. I keep telling everyone, like, this has to be propaganda because people will say, oh, I love Ireland. I love Irish people. And then these movies come out like this where it's like, oh, your ideal man is actually English. Okay, now let's get back to it. Okay, so now visually, Irish Wish is like eating a stale potato chip. It's bland, disappointing, and somehow leaves you thirstier than before. Netflix, you had one job, make Ireland look magical. But no, you gave us a green screen mess that looks like it was edited on Windows Movie Maker circa 2007. Now, where's the sweeping beauty of the cliffs of Moher? Where's the charm of cobblestone streets? Instead, we got Maddie sipping Guinness in what looks like the backlot of a theme park, which is true. It doesn't look like an actual Irish pub. Like, I was like, what is this? Like, what is this? Now, they have beautiful shots and things like that, but like, and like I heard, you know, when Lindsay Lohan was actually, they were shooting actually in Ireland for the most part. So that's great, but it was like, it must have been like on set or something because like you saw nothing about Ireland. Like you're in Dublin, you fly into Dublin and we don't actually get to really see Dublin. You know, we don't actually get to experience you being in the airport. Like the budget went to these random beautiful shots and things like that, the extravagant shots of the castle they were living in. But it gave very much, oh, we're in Ireland, but really you could, if you took the shots that you saw of that castle between Ireland and the one in England, you wouldn't be able to tell which one's Ireland, which one's England. And I think that's the main point. It's like, okay, we want to differentiate and make sure people understand, no, we're actually in Ireland. And you didn't get that with the visuals in this movie. Beautiful. Some of the shots were really beautiful, though. Some of them were, and you could tell they had a budget. You can tell they had great cameras and things like that. But it's just like you couldn't really tell the difference between Ireland and England. And there's a big difference if you've been to both. So here's the thing. Irish Wish is bad, like irredeemably bad, but, and this is a big but, it's so bad, it's kind of all right. It's a train wreck you can't look away from. Watching Maddie bumble her way through fake Ireland is like watching your drunk aunt try to river dance at a wedding. You're embarrassed, but you're also kind of entertained because you can watch it through. If you're looking for a cinematic masterpiece, skip this though. But if you're in the mood to roast a movie with your friends, pour yourself a pint and let Irish Wish be your sacrificial lamb. So with this, it is a train wreck. Everything I said it was true. Like when you watch it, you'll understand. Like it doesn't really show the best of Ireland. It barely shows Ireland. It shows some great scenes and things like that. But it just, I don't know. It's missing like the essence of Ireland. But like none of the cast is from Ireland. It just feels like they were like, oh, Ireland. Yes, Netflix, give us this. And they're like, yep, okay, here's the money. Irish Wish with no Irish people. It's just very freaking strange and very sad, honestly. Very, very, very sad to see still. The only thing Irish people have towards Ireland on Netflix-ish or mostly on streaming service that's popular and good and does a decent job at showcasing these trials and tribulations and the reality of Irish people and Irish folk is Dairy Girls. That's all they have. Millions of Irish people around the world. We have Irish pubs everywhere. Everywhere. Guinness is so popular. St. Patrick's Day, everywhere celebrates St. Patrick's Day. But you're telling me there's no streaming movies or anything like that about Ireland or Irish people that's like either a rom-com, lighthearted, anything like that besides Dairy Girls? Yeah, like I said, the Irish love is freaking fake. There's no way. No way in heck. That's insane. So thank you guys so much for listening to this video. Let me know in the comments, did you survive Irish Wish if you watched it? And if not, please watch it. Please, please watch it. Who would you cast in the remake if they redid it, and did it well? Instead of Lindsay Lohan, because she did a bad job. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. Did she do a bad job? I think it was the script, but also kind of her, but kind of the script. So I give her another chance. But if you didn't want to give Lindsay Lohan another chance, or anyone else in the cast another chance, who would you cast in the remake? Because I didn't like the husband or the guy they were going to marry. He was not attractive to me. Maybe they didn't have a budget to get a really attractive man. Why did the Irish guy have to be the less attractive one, but the English guy had to be the attractive? It was just I don't know. And so most importantly, what would you say to Maddie, aka Lohan, if you met her in real life? Don't forget to subscribe, and hit that bell because I'll be back next week to roast another movie that should have stayed in the draft. Until next time, may your Guinness be cold, your movies be better, and your protagonists make at least one good decision. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode with Jay Gibson on It Girl in Review. See y'all next week, and make sure you subscribe, follow, and definitely comment and rate me so I can bring you guys great content again and again and again. Thank y'all so much. See y'all next time. Ciao.